Hello, welcome again to the Human Ideasphere YouTube channel. Before we begin the actual explanation of the Ideasphere, I want to start with a few rules of the road. I think it's really important to understand the context in which I'm going to be speaking. First of all, the Ideasphere is a 30,000-foot view of humanity. It's a general overview. I touch on many topics in many areas, but all at a pretty basic level. I do this for two reasons. One, there's a lot to cover, so I have to pick out only the most important concepts to discuss. Second, and more importantly, the detail can sometimes get in the way of the overall point. Whether I talk about energy or matter or life, the amount of knowledge about any one of these topics is enormous. It's easy to be overwhelmed by detail. So remember, I'm going to keep it general. For instance, I might talk about an elephant being gray because an elephant being gray is the important point I want to convey about the elephant's evolution. But that's not all that's important about an elephant. It's very big, it has a trunk, it has tusks, and a long tail. These are all very important things about an elephant, but they are not necessarily important to my point and my discussion. So remember, there's a lot more to every topic I discuss. I encourage you to Google any topic that is of interest to you because there's much, much more about any of these topics that I discuss in my presentations. Second, I will often make definitive statements like, humans store information outside their bodies and animals cannot do this. When I make these statements, I want you to understand that I'm speaking about the relative difference between humans and nature. Birds, of course, can store information outside their bodies. They can make a nest, and bees can make hives. But birds can't decide to manufacture concrete and build a 3-story townhome nest with glass windows and the best bird furniture around. So, when I speak about these things, please remember I am speaking about the relative difference between humans and animals. Nature runs on a continuum. Nature is rarely black and white, unless you're talking about orcas and skunks, and even then there's exceptions. I sometimes present it this way to highlight the difference between humans and other life forms. Okay, that's it for the rules. The first episode of the Human Ideasphere will begin on September 3rd, 2024. I hope you'll join me. Thanks, and remember to subscribe.